I'm Ken Zier, and here's what's happening. Residents of St. Anne were stunned this morning to hear that a local man has been one of the first to lose his life in Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Memorial Day 2008, the close-knit community of St. Anne, Illinois, gathered at the local grade school to remember a long list of friends and family members that had lost their lives in service to the United States.
We will now have the Iraqi Freedom list read.
Ryan Anthony Beaupre, Lance T. Grahams.
We will now have a flag placed for them too, both killed in the service.
As the names were read representing each war in our history, a group of men and women stood among the residents. Their motorcycles lined the street. They were not residents, family members, or relatives. Just a group of proud Americans that traveled to the small town of 1,300 people to revisit a memorial to Captain Ryan Beaupre. It is a memorial they brought first to St. Anne and later to 8 other communities around the state of Illinois.
Jerry and I talked about it, and we decided to do a little research, and with the help of the Harold Washington Library in Chicago, we found out the first casualty from Illinois was Captain Ryan Beaupre. And we went to the small town of St. Anne, and we were hoping to have about 700 people attend the first event. And a friend of mine owned a nightclub, so we had everything set up. Jerry talked to the folks in St. Anne, and we made it happen. We went downtown and we mooched at the Fulton Market. We got meat and hot dogs. Everybody was so generous.
It was that first run to St. Anne that gave Tony and Jerry the idea for an active memorial to honor and pay tribute to all the servicemen and women killed in the line of duty in any Middle East conflict.
After that event was over, Jerry and I sat down for a cold beer and said, Jerry says, well, what can we do now? And, you know, and we kicked it around. He says, why don't we build a memorial wall?
The wall itself holds millions of stories that we will never, ever understand and hear. There's wonderful stories, and that's what I think we've done, is give a place for them families to go and to remember their children.
Thousands of motorcycles ride on the third Saturday of June from the staging area of Joliet's NASCAR track to Interstate 80 and then into the river town of Marseilles, Illinois. Riders arriving in Joliet early on a Saturday morning of the ride can catch a pancake breakfast, and we really mean catch.
Come on in, guys. We got free food on a $5 plate.
I'm riding because I lost my son in Iraq last year. And I came up here and read the names out, and I told him I'd come back and bring my son and ride with him in the ride. So that's why I'm here. I came from Virginia. Dano, I love you, son.
Spectators along the route wave, cheer, wave flags, and show their support to the thousands of riders in the procession. Interstate 80 and the roads leading into the ceremony are filled with motorcycles for hours prior to the event. Riders leaving in the run from the racetrack staging area in Joliet donate a fee to participate. That money is used to support and maintain the memorial wall. The Illinois Freedom Run also supported families of military personnel with scholarships and direct assistance to U.S. military veterans hospitalized in VA hospitals across the state.
These angels don't have wings, but they are Americans. They are thankful for their freedom and the service that you've done. They are doctors and lawyers, veterans, merchants, police. As they climb up on their Harleys and ride to bring your family relief. Freedom Run angels on cycles of love, helping your loved ones as you watch from above. Just relax there in heaven.
It's a loud, warm feeling to know that you can ride free because of these men and women that had sacrificed their lives for us to give us that freedom.
The arrival of motorcycles into this river town is a breathtaking experience, as the motorcycles fill the streets of this town of only 4,800 people. The wall awaits the placement of over 600 names of servicemen and women that have lost their lives during the past 12 months. Friends and family from all over the United States travel to this hallowed ground.
I heard about the wall and were invited up here, so we came. We probably made it here a couple of days ago, and my wife and I are just amazed, you know, and thankful for everybody that's worked and put this together, you know, for remembrance of all those that have fallen, and of course we wanted to ride in this ride, you know, for the same reason, just for people to remember.
My son always wanted a motorcycle, and so when he was deployed to Afghanistan, he told me when he come home he was going to buy one, and he didn't come home. And so we bought one for him and had his pictures painted all over it, and now we ride him everywhere. It's in honor and memory of him, and we ride it everywhere to all these events just so the world will remember and love our heroes, because our soldiers are our true heroes of America. They give their todays for our tomorrows.
The scars, the lines, the tears, they add up through the years, but still I'll never fall. You're looking at the wall. They stop, they stare, some ask me why.
My husband, John W. Ingeman. For my fellow grievers who walked this journey with me, I would like to offer you something. As I sat in the funeral home the day of my husband's funeral, my entire life had fallen apart. My best friend, my lover, my champion, my protector was gone. Wondering what I would do, how I would live, where I would go. From beyond, John sent me a miracle. A casualty assistance officer brought me a bag. In that bag was a tiny little cross my husband carried in his wallet all the time, his wedding ring, and one of his dog tags. Part of the miracle was that my husband's 6'1", 280-pound frame bore the brunt of the blast that killed him and his best friend. There wasn't much left to bury. What was left was burnt beyond recognition when the ammo they were carrying started fire. But his message to me was, remember the cross. Remember the faith he had. The love we both bore for each other and our children was symbolized in his wedding ring. And lastly, to remember that his was a sense of duty and a calling far beyond just him or me or any of us. That has given me the strength from day to day to move forward. Yes, I stumble and I fall, but when that happens, I remember things like this, when people come together and do these things, and it helps me move forward. So I ask you this, do not give this enemy the satisfaction of seeing you stay down. Stumble, fall, get back up, and keep going. I love you guys.
I knew a man called him Sandy Kane. Few folks even knew his name. but a hero, yes, was he. Left a boy, came back a man. Still some just don't understand about the reasons we are free. I can't forget the look in his eyes, or the tears he cried as he said these words to me. All gave some gave all. Some stood true for the red, white, and blue, and some had to fall. If you ever think of me, think of all your liberties and recall. Some gave all.